Hello food fans, going to have a great lunch today. Something I first tasted back in the 1940s, the years before 1945, the end of World War II. When we would go to a White Castle, these hamburgers, these sliders, cost a nickel each. And now with these, by the way, that I bought at Kroger in the frozen food section, with these I will be adding a pickle slice to them, and I'm going to cook up some potatoes and onions, and I'll add some of the onion flavoring to the White Castle sliders. A nickel each is what they cost back in the mid 1940s. Now these are $1 each, $5.99 for 6 sliders, so $1 each, so it's up 20 times what it was when I first ate a White Castle hamburger. 20 times, 2,000% increase in price. Boy, it'd be nice to get a stock increase of 2,000%, but we'll have the White Castles, we'll have fried potatoes, probably about 1/4 of this big potato that costs about $1. So 25 cents for a potato, and a little bit of onions I will sprinkle in with the potatoes. And we're going to have a secret dessert. So let's get started. Well, I've got lots of different kinds of food here. This skillet is hot, and it has the fried potatoes, and it also has the fried minced onions. Fried with the potatoes, give the potatoes some extra flavor, and also I'm going to put some of the onion on some of the burgers here. These hamburgers, as I've told you, these White Castles, these sliders, the White Castle, famous hamburger. Used to buy them for a nickel. Right after World War II, we moved to Calumet Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. And there was a White Castle just a couple blocks away. And my brother and I would get 2 White Castle hamburgers. And we would be spending a dime. And that was a big meal. It wasn't too long till we were consuming a lot more than 2 burgers for each fill. It wasn't too long till we were eating 6 at a time and more. And how do we get this cover off of here? I think I'll have to get a crowbar. When I was at Ralph's today, not Ralph's, it's Kroger. Ralph's in California is the same as Kroger. I was at Kroger in Tennessee. I can get this another way here. I'll stab it. When I was at Kroger, I was looking for the White Castle sliders, and the shelves were just about bare, but there was one box hidden way back in the back that somebody had not noticed, and I got that. And 6 White Castle sliders cost $5.99, so $1 each. Now that's still a low price for a hamburger, but it's not as low as it once was. White Castle is up 2,000% in my lifetime. And let's see if we can get some, yeah, there'll be a little bit of, there's some mustard on there. And I'm going to put a little bit of relish on there. The reason I do that, White Castle used to have something they put on their hamburgers. It was a combination of relish and mustard. And I shall duplicate that. I also put a few little onions here onto the hamburger. These are burned onions, the way I like them. Yeah, there we go. And in addition, and I'll taste some of these onions. They're quite good. And I'm going to get a, I guess I'll use a knife to get the pickles, and they're right here. use a knife to get the pickle right here. I put maybe 2 little pickle slices on there. And I used to like the pickles on the White Castle hamburgers, but they, in the frozen section, they don't have pickles on the frozen burgers. This is the one, I guess, that goes on this. And instead of having my regular cabbage salad, cabbage with carrots and tomatoes and mayonnaise and relish and ketchup, instead of having that, I'm going to have some of the coleslaw. This came from the deli, also at Kroger, and it was on sale. I don't remember how much it was, but not too much. And I can get at least 10 servings from one of these containers. I'm going to take a little taste of the coleslaw. Coleslaw, I think, goes well with fast food type meals and my regular salad for regular meals. Now taste the White Castle, 1/6 of the total. I've got pickle on there and extra onions. Familiar flavor. They used to have a Crystal's here near where I live, and the Crystal closed, I think, because of the COVID regulations. Not a bad tasting little hamburger, about 4 bites. For those of you relatively new to my channel, if you get a chance sometime, go to the community section. Just search YouTube for Feature Man, and when my channel comes up, right in the middle, there's a link to community, and quite often I'll have a poll, P-O-L-L, poll. Try the potatoes. There's a potato. It wants to get away. I heard today that Loretta Lynn has passed away. I played her records on the radio about 40 years ago. Get another hamburger. Emily made a movie of her life that was pretty good. Not that she had it easy or anything, it's just that the movie was good. And she had an interesting story, and she had some good recordings for sure. I never did see her in person. Pickle. And for those of you who want to get into show business first, some root beer. Must have my root beer. I think everything here came from Kroger. Not absolutely certain. The relish and the mustard, pickles might have come from from Aldi or some other store. mustard. And relish. For those of you in show business or who want to get into show business, want to be an entertainer, I'll tell you something about acting. If you go on an audition, I've talked this over with a lot of people that I knew when I was working as a movie extra, and it's probably pretty true. When you go on an audition for a part, say in a commercial, the odds are about 30 to 1 against you. So if you go on 20 auditions and get rejected all the time, you don't actually get rejected. You just don't get chosen to have the job. Maybe you'll get it on the 21st, 22nd. Maybe you'll be unlucky and not get it until you go on the 40th audition. And then you'll also get the 41, 42, 43. About 1 out of every 30 commercial auditions that you go on, you will probably be chosen. No guarantees. White Castle's good. Potatoes. Fried potatoes taste good with minced onion, especially if you like them burned like I do. Another slider here. Put the little pickle on it. I like pickles and relish, depending on what they happen to be with, what food I put them on. Put the relish lid back on. Get the mustard. But the very first audition I went on in Los Angeles, when I moved to Los Angeles age 17, went on an audition and I got the part. The very first one. It was on Make Believe Ballroom with Al Jarvis, and he conducted the auditions as well as being the star of the show. That's where Betty White started her career. I never did see Betty White in person, but she was definitely a very funny lady. White Castle. The potatoes cost about, if you buy them individually like I do, the russet potatoes cost about $1 each for a big potato. But if you buy 10-pound bags of potatoes, you'll save more and get them for a lower price per serving. And today they didn't have any 10-pound bags of potatoes at Kroger. They had 5-pound bags. And they had some single potatoes. Make Believe Ballroom with Al Jarvis. I did a stand-up comedy routine I was not very good, but I went on the audition, I got the part, and I went out and did it. Nothing bad happened to me. It gave me more confidence. And remember, when I went on the audition for Dear John, I was not invited. It was not official. I didn't get paid anything for going on the audition. I crashed the audition. I got the part that changed my life. And it was a wonderful 4 years while we were working on the show. And then 4 years following that, the show ran in syndication, so the income was great on it. But I'll tell you one thing I know for certain. I failed to get the parts on far more auditions than the ones I was successful at getting the part. Just because I fail or you fail doesn't mean you're a failure. It means not your turn right now. Wait over there. Mustard. Who invented mustard? See the little mustard weeds growing out in the field somewhere? Who thought about tasting that and using it for something? Somebody did. What if we had to pay royalties for hamburgers? Whoever came up with the idea of the recipe. What if we had to pay them 10 cents per hamburger? Good food. And remember, we've got a secret dessert coming. They don't put enough onions on the frozen White Castles. The last two White Castle burgers. Get the pickle slice. It's a big pickle slice. And get some relish here. Very glad to see the subscriber numbers going up very steadily. When I lived in Las Vegas, probably about 1971 or so, I contacted White Castle back at their eastern headquarters, wherever that was then. Sent them a letter, said I'd like to open a franchise here. I knew a place nearby which would have been perfect for a White Castle restaurant, and they contacted me. They wrote back and said that at that time there would be no franchises of White Castle. every restaurant was owned by the White Castle company, not a franchise. And of course, they sell the White Castles in frozen food sections of different supermarkets. And I think they've got some little miniature White Castle restaurants in some of the casinos in Las Vegas. What if you went to see the dinner show in Las Vegas, one of the big orchestra on stage, dancers, real big show, and the dinner show is White Castles. I would like it. 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 Last of the White Castles. Relish. Get some mustard. And get a pickle. Here we go. The pickles are from Kroger. It says so right on the label there, so got their identity. Here's the pickle. I wonder if pickles don't freeze. There must be some reason they don't put them on the hamburger. This would be about 4 bites. So remember, if you're an actor or would-be actor and you go on an audition and you don't get the part, you don't get a call back, don't give up. Try again. Every now and then you'll be in the position of being the one person who goes on the audition who just is so right for the part, and the casting people jump up and down when they see you and watch you perform your audition. I have seen that happen. I've seen it happen for other people besides myself. Starting to get cool. This is October 4th, 2022. Getting cool outside. Which is what is supposed to happen. I'm going to move my pan out of the way and get my secret dessert. Secret dessert is ice cream, and it is currently my favorite ice cream. This is Death by Chocolate. Death by Chocolate. This comes from Kroger. I like all the ice cream that they have a flavor called Moose Tracks, which is good, but Death by Chocolate is my favorite. This is good. It's chocolate ice cream with great big hunks of chocolate in the ice cream. Take another bite of the ice cream. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for visiting. And thank you for watching.